In the summer of 1994, a small town in Washington state became the epicenter of one of the most bizarre and unsettling weather phenomena ever recorded. Instead of rain, translucent blobs fell from the sky, covering everything in sight. But this was no harmless curiosity. The strange rain brought illness, confusion, and fear to the town of Oakville, leaving a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. This is the story of the Oakville Blobs, a mystery that continues to baffle scientists and ignite speculation nearly 30 years later. Oakville, Washington, was a quiet and unassuming town in the 1990s, home to just 665 residents. Life moved at a slow, steady pace, until the morning of August 7th, 1994. On that day, an unusual storm rolled in, bringing with it something far stranger than rain. Instead of water droplets, the storm released small, translucent blobs, described as jelly-like and roughly the size of rice grains. These blobs blanketed an area of nearly 20 square miles, coating everything they touched. But this was only the beginning. Over the next 3 weeks, similar storms were reported multiple times, leaving the town both bewildered and alarmed. At first, the blobs were a curiosity. Residents examined them, noting their strange texture and unusual appearance. Some joked about the jelly rain, while others speculated about its origin. But amusement quickly turned to concern when people and animals in the area began falling ill. One of the first known victims was Dottie Hearn, an Oakville resident who became severely ill shortly after coming into contact with the blobs. She experienced extreme dizziness, nausea, and difficulty breathing, and was rushed to the hospital. But her doctors were unable to determine what was wrong. Animals were not spared either. Pets that came into contact with the blobs reportedly fell ill and in some cases died, further alarming the community. The mysterious substance was collected and sent to multiple labs for analysis. Initial findings only deepened the mystery. The blobs were found to contain white blood cells, a key component of biological organisms. Further tests revealed bacteria commonly found in the human digestive system, an unsettling discovery that raised more questions than answers. Could the blobs be living organisms, waste from an unknown source, or something entirely new? Despite these findings, no one could determine exactly what the blobs were or how they had fallen from the sky. As news of the Oakville Blobs spread, theories began to emerge, each attempting to explain the unexplainable. Some were grounded in science, while others ventured into the realm of the fantastical. Oakville is located near several military installations, including Joint Base Lewis and Court. Some residents speculated the blobs were the result of a bioweapon or chemical test gone wrong. The 1990s were a time of heightened concern about biowarfare, and military involvement seemed plausible to many. However, government agencies denied any connection. Another theory suggested the blobs were waste jettisoned from passing airplanes. But the blobs lacked the blue dye used in airplane lavatory systems, and FAA regulations made this explanation unlikely. Perhaps the strangest theory proposed that the blobs were remains of jellyfish, shredded and carried into the atmosphere during military bombing exercises over the ocean. Could these fragments have been carried inland and fallen with the rain? While intriguing, this theory fails to explain why the blobs contained human bacteria. Some residents took the mystery further, suggesting the blobs were of alien origin. Could they have been biological samples, experiments, or even organisms sent from space? This theory, though speculative, captured the imaginations of many. Others argued the blobs might have been a natural phenomenon caused by atmospheric conditions or pollution. Biofilm accumulations of organic material lifted into the atmosphere has been proposed as a possible explanation. But even this theory leaves questions unanswered. Beyond the blobs themselves, the illnesses reported by Oakville residents added a troubling layer to the mystery. While many recovered after a few days, some reported lingering health effects that they believed were caused by exposure to the substance. No definitive link between the blobs and the illnesses was ever established, leaving residents to wonder if the events were connected or if the timing was just a coincidence. Despite multiple investigations, including efforts by the Washington State Department of Ecology, no conclusive explanation for the Oakville Blobs was ever provided. Government agencies denied involvement, further fueling suspicions of a cover-up. The town was left with more questions than answers. Advances in science have led some researchers to revisit the mystery. One modern theory suggests the blobs may have been biofilm, organic matters swept up by weather patterns and deposited by rain. But even this theory struggles to explain why the phenomenon was so localized to Oakville and why it coincided with sickness and death. For the residents of Oakville, the summer of 1994 remains a haunting memory. Nearly 30 years later, the mystery of the Oakville Blobs has yet to be solved. Was it a freak environmental event, a secret experiment, or something far stranger? The answers, like the blobs themselves, seem to have disappeared into thin air. What do you think caused the Oakville Blobs? A government test, an environmental anomaly, or something we may never fully understand? Let us know your theories in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more strange and unexplained stories from around the world.